Oh, I guess I'm in charge tonight. Hi, I'm Matt, and I think that Tarzan is experiencing technical difficulties. So, hi. We're just gonna, until Tarzan interrupts me, I'm gonna try to do the slate thing and introductions for who you do see here, because might as well just keep the thing going rather than just staring at a camera ominously. Oh,
Might.
oh.
Sorry for the difficulty. Here we go. All right.
Thank you.
This is what I get for multitasking. How's it going, all you wonderful Tubi Dicers? I'm your host, Daddy Tarzan 82855. Can you guys hear me? Because I can't hear any of you right now.
We can hear
Okay,
you.
we're good. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but we're back and we're live, baby. Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars: Edge of the Empire with Tubi Dice Adventures on another wonderful Tuesday night. We're in for a special treat tonight. Let's go ahead and get our cast announcement, roll call out of the way, starting off with our lovely Dovely, however Ego likes to say it.
Hey guys, I'm Dia, also known as DFL.cause on all social media. I play Dove, who is a resident Zabraki bounty hunter, who is also, as we found out last session, a one-woman army in her own right. So that is now her new official class, and we'll be sticking with that. I will pop off for just a moment as I realize I opened my earpods case and there is no earpods in here. I'll be back in a hot minute. Please continue on to our lovely Raul.
I did not steal her AirPods, I promise. Hi, I'm Oz. I am playing Raul, our lovely Grenadier extraordinaire. Yeah, we're in a bit of a pickle, guys. Just to bring it into perspective real quick, our party is not doing well. Listen, I meant the royal we. Okay, all
Listen,
right.
You don't need to rub the salt into the wound there, Dia.
Yeah. Honestly, yes. Raw just is the general party chaos bringer. Just adds the spice.
Salt of life.
Salt of life, basically. Yeah.
On to the next one.
Ego, save us.
You want Ego to save you? Oh god. Hi.
Ego's already on the next transport out.
If Ego, Lord, I'm Ren. You can find me at Maskren on the socials. I play Ego, who is a Twi'lek scoundrel, a rather charming individual who is not where they're supposed to be and has never done a single thing wrong in his life, and has made several questionable decisions to get where he is currently, but that's neither here nor there. Oh,
time for the people in the back. Ego has done nothing wrong.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Victor, also known as Victor the Story Weaver. I am currently playing, returning from the depths of mystery after a long, long absence on a journey of their own, but very much connected to the goals and the bonds built within this team. One of the halves of the brotherly duo of Oho and Raul, Oho, aka Dreadful Daru, and he just made a very humble entrance by crashing through the ceiling. Thank you, Chav. Everything is fine. It's good. It's not like I was in the middle of a fight and now I just dropped down with almost dead. So we're good. It's fine.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Hey. At least you're alive. I thought you were dead this entire time.
Nah. He's just been here the whole time. He's just been stealthed.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
I think that means that it's my turn. Hello, I am Matt, also known as Warturner on the interwebs. Yes, it is still me. I'm just a little less hairy right now. So I have the pleasure of playing, possibly for the last time, which I've been saying for 3 weeks now. Chav Visto has been dying for 3 weeks. Will this be the week? To be diced. However, Chav Visto, your favorite smuggler / space freighter, your agent Lancer, 1/3 of the newly reunited core Atlas since the beginning, and as you can see from everybody's headlines, the last pilot standing. Thank you very much.
I love it. That being said, that's the intro of our cast for tonight's episode of the Star Wars. That being said, let's go ahead and roll out the announcements for the week. Unfortunately, this month will not be showcasing an episode of Dimensional Dial as we were unable to lock in a date that was suitable for all parties involved. Don't worry, we're still working actively to lock in the date for the following month. However, we still have Tales of Arden coming up this week, Thursday. Be on the lookout for that. I'm ready to see William turn a new leaf. Stop being so fucking suicidal, and work on living with his friends. Then Frontiers of Ebron will return not next Sunday, but the following, as it is confirmed to be a bi-weekly campaign. So be on the lookout for that. We are excited to have Frontiers of Ebron returning. So far, the cast is wonderful, and they're fleshing themselves out. And I can't wait to see the personalities develop even further. Other than that, we are, on track as always for Star Wars to be a weekly campaign. There's no interruptions foreseen for the foreseeable future for the time being. If there are any interruptions or new developments to our regularly scheduled programs or monthly scheduled programs, be on the lookout for those announcements on X, TikTok, so on and so forth. All of our socials will be updated whenever there is alterations to our programs. That being said, let's go ahead and get back to this scene that we find ourselves in. The crew, the surviving crew of Core Atlas had found themselves contracted out to the crew of the Crypt Chasers, a group of archaeologists that document and preserve any teachings and knowledge of both Sith and Jedi alike in an effort to preserve and pass on knowledge throughout the generations. Upon their arrival of Korriban, the crew of Core Atlas that was contracted to protect them and be their voice of reason, have encountered a Sith holocron that was protected by Sith apparitions, and a horde of undead. Chav valiantly recovered a ancient artifact, a Sith holocron bearing the last, I wouldn't say commandments, but the last documented personality of Darth Bane, one of the original founder of the Rule of Two. He expressed a warning of deterrence in seeking further uncovering of the tomb that is buried below, as he sensed that uncovering this holocron has led them to start to discover a secret that they've been trying to bury. In that discovery, Camden Floor, the leaders of the Crypt Chasers, revealed to Darth Bane that he is actively working to preserve both teachings of the Jedi and Sith alike in an effort to spread knowledge and understanding of the two cultures. Darth Bane did not like that at all, and saw that as an affront, and proceeded to turn him into jelly, essentially, before the entire crew of Core Atlas and Crypt Chasers alike. As he did that, he warned them for a final time to depart Korriban immediately. With that warning in mind, the crew started to try to disembark before being stopped by a force-hungry Tentarek that has been sensing their activity on the planet for some time and was trying to hunt them down to consume these force-sensitive beings that have been active on the planet. In an effort to stop or kill this creature, one party member by the name of Dr. Besrutam was felled by a errant thermal detonator by accident. Was recovered by a recovery asset pilot by the name of Guy, and brought to another planet, a nearby planet in the sector, to try and save his life, but upon arrival seemed to have passed on upon the exchange between Guy and the military base that he was brought to. However, by this point in time, Ego had led the Crypt Chasers out from the catacombs below the tomb of Darth Bane and met up with Dove with a fucking horde of chlor slugs behind them. Dove, however, unleashing unholy hell upon these chlor slugs with her repeating blaster, like the total badass that she is, and slaughtered the hive of chlor slugs for the time being, as the doors shut behind the Crypt Chasers and Ego, the final member to escape the tunnel. That being said, our last remaining members of Core Atlas, Chav and Rawl, proceeded deeper into the tomb of the one known as Ketvar Blood, a Sith pureblood who has been a periodical threat to the galaxy time and time again, influencing various millennias with his influence and power time and time again. Ketvar tried to seduce Rawl into becoming his next harbinger of this millennium. The lure seeming appealing for a moment, Rawl, in a last-minute decision, rejected the offer provided by Ketvar and tried to escape with his friend Chav through a entry created by a group of pirates that tried to raid the tomb before their arrival, in an effort to try and teach a lesson to Rawl. Ketvar paralyzed his companion Chav and now currently stands over top of him with a lightsaber blade in reverse grip pointed at his chest, and as he was about to plunge the blade into Chav's heart, the ceiling above caved in as two silhouettes descended into the chamber, and one remaining standing, that being Oho. who presents to Ketvar a chance, a new opportunity, a deal, an exchange for Chav's life. Where this decision or offering goes is to be diced. To re-situate ourselves into the scene that we find ourselves in. Oho, you stand battered, bruised, bleeding. The battle between you and the lost brother has left the two of you at the brink of death's door. However, you maintain your composure, although the wound at your side causes you to wince in pain as you place your hand over the wound in your abdomen as you point the tip of your blade at the neck of the lost brother and offer this individual as a bargaining chip to this entity that stands before you. Ketvar blood. A Sith pure blood with crimson red skin, piercing, glowing red eyes, locked onto you with curiosity. Cartilage protrusions from the eyebrows that almost seem like horns protruding outward. Tendrils drooping from the face, acting as a formation of a flesh-like beard. His black ebony hair slicked back with intricate embellishments embroidered into the hair. I don't know if that's the right word, but you get the idea. This apparition that stands before you commands respect, fear. And you can see, although that his form may be incorporeal, the blades that are wielded in his hands are very much physical and active, one of which stands over Chav's chest, merely a foot away from piercing his heart. Chav looking over at you as he witnesses your arrival. You look over to Rawl, who remains suspended in air, utilizing the rope, the climbing gear that was left behind by these pirates. As you look around the chamber, you take notice too. The bodies themselves desiccated, almost as if they've been dead for years. But the ship that you saw outside prior seems to only have been there for maybe a few hours, maybe a day at most. What you're witnessing is an app. What's the term for mind flayers?
Illithid?
Not the apparitions. There we go. Aberrations. An aberration of the Force. He's unnatural. He is a hungry presence. Not for life force, but Rawl, and you sense this too as you start to tune into this frequency. This being craves conflict. Dove, Ego, upon the surface of the tomb that you find yourselves reunited at, we're taking a couple minutes steps back into their time. Ego, you have just managed to recollect yourself, panting heavily after nearly being set upon by the hive that was barreling down on top of you. Find yourself standing in the comfort of Dove's shadow in her magnificent powered suit. The heat of her repeating blaster radiating. Even in this close proximity, the intensity of this heat provides a level of discomfort despite the acrid air that the planet of Korriban already possesses. The two of you look over to the Crypt Chasers as they all clutch one another in a comforting embrace, thanking their higher powers that they still draw breath. I need the two of you to roll me a perception check at this time. Before we do that, if you wouldn't mind, somebody would be kind enough to share the table as we roll our luck points for the day.
Wow, that was fast. We're done, Tarzan.
Done.
We are so done.
You cleared them.
Oh shit, you guys already did it? My bad. We got 2 light side, 3 dark side. That's pretty good. I like that.
Don't
But I need you to
Why?
look at who rolled them. Look at who rolled the dark side.
Ren, Victor, Rawl. Typical. Actually, that's not typical because Chav is normally the dark side contributor.
Yeah, usually on the dark side early, but in my last hurrah, I decided to put a little light out in the world.
I like that. Okay, so we're looking at 3 dark side tokens, 2 light side. Well done. And if somebody would be kind enough to share the table, we'll go ahead and switch over to the game table view. We rolled our perception checks. We're looking good. Let's go ahead and make that a hard perception check as this is taking place a little deeper in. Okay. You know what? It makes sense. Ego, you are always the more perceptive one of anyone in your group usually. And it helps that Felix have a higher sensitivity to sound frequencies with their ear cones. You pick up deeper within the temple of Nagasadao that you're in. Conflict. But not the typical conflict that you've grown used to at this time. This frequency of sound is different, unique. You hear what appears to be the sound of flashing of lightsabers. And shortly thereafter, you can actively sense 2 Force users engaged in combat, utilizing every tool at their disposal to fell one another. It draws you deeper into the tomb. Whether or not you follow that compulsion is up to you. But shortly thereafter, you feel beneath the foundation of the tomb that you find yourself standing in, next to the bust of Naga Sadao himself, the ground quakes. Loose debris begins to descend upon you from overhead, dust falling. You shield your eyes in the moment as this dust envelops the antechamber that you find yourselves in. Dove, you react instinctually, but your visor provides the protection necessary that you quickly remove your arm and begin to scan immediately the environment for any potential dangers. As the two of you look around, Dove, in your heads-up display of your visor, you locate the origin source of the tremor that was detected, and it appears to be coming from the west, the last known location of Rawl and Chav. And soon thereafter, you hear the cracking of stone. Not the same cracking of stone that you've heard from the temple of, or the tomb of Darth Bane. This one sounds more foundational. It almost pierces the ears as the stone shears. The sound seems to have traveled several hundreds of feet down. And it is at this time that we find ourselves at the same moment of when Oho arrived in the chamber, but the crew above has yet to discover this. Dove and Ego, does this development draw your attention, and do you pursue it? Or do you follow through with your directives and continue to protect the crew of Crypt Chasers and deliver them to the ships?
Well, they're fucking dead. So listen, I don't know what that was. I don't know. I cannot begin to fathom what that was. It sounded like a lot. I don't know how structurally sound this place is anymore. And I would love to see the godforsaken sun on this planet one more time. So I'm also, Chavisto is not a force user. Does not do that at all. It's not his forte. It's not his bailiwick. Two of them were somewhere in this place doing something. Swords were clashing in a very bad way. And so I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it.
Where did the second one come from?
You see, a wonderful question, potentially to be answered later.
That being said, we are sitting on top of several Sith burial chambers. There's 4 more to go.
Absolutely.
That was probably one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, realistically, how we are getting back down there, considering I just left a rubble's worth of creepy crawly things blocking the entrance to. Granted, I could blow through them again, but where does that leave these guys? Unless, no, scratch that. Guy's back. He crash landed. That's right. Told him not to do that. He still did that. He could take him to safety if we are to still evacuate them as intended.
It's at this point that you do hear a sputtering of a YT freighter that is coming in for a rough landing. Is it?
So
You can smell the fuel radiating from the burning exhaust ports.
Oh, he got back well fast. Guess he's not so bad
Too
at
fast.
My
my
Probably
proposal.
Guy's probably just like coming down the ramp with like a fire extinguisher.
So I,
Like, hey, you guys need any help? And it's just like a flare of flame. Just not even looking. Just.
So I figured out why it took so long for a guy to come back. He did crash land on Korriban after performing a fucking maneuver that was deemed impossible prior to the sequel trilogy. That attempt left his ship inoperable for a day or two while he made repairs that made it sufficient enough to fly. And he finally arrived after those repairs were made, but it was still it's still rough. It's a rough ride, but flyable enough. And it's at this point where Guy arrives with this still smoldering ship, the frame warped beyond recognition. You question whether or not its environmental seals are still intact. If it does go out into the vacuum of outer space, will anybody inside be able to survive? Who knows? But
Absolutely. It's part of it's a guarantee. It just points out his like guarantee certificate on the wall. Of,
Which
like-
is kind of burned now.
yeah, and like you see
Mind
you
you,
see the thing, and then it just turns on fire, and then you just see like Gal's like little like extinguisher just.
But it's at this point, yeah, the crypt chasers start making their way out. Seeing the state of Guy's ship, they are reluctant to board, but they do board nonetheless in a desperate attempt to flee the... Go ahead.
mind you, they do have their own ship. We could have Guy taxi them over to their own.
Yeah.
I would prefer they take their ship, which has impaired communications.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they're not keen on leaving their ship behind. They have tools and
they
resources
need to
on
take
there.
that ship. They should go on their own ship.
But
And then that'll be our destruction out of the way. But first, Dev will make sure that they transfer those credits that we talked about before we go.
I also will remind that part of Guy's thing was the fact that as he was doing the crash landing, he spotted ships that were not from the group in a different section of the tombs, and one of them seemed
on the
imperial
far side,
on the
yeah,
far side, and he was like, "I think people need to leave."
Yeah. So there is a level of urgency provided by Guy at this time as he lands. Get on board. It's time to go. We don't need to be here any longer.
To be fair, we've had that sense of urgency for 3 days that we get to live here.
Ego still has the tether to Rawl.
I believe so. If you haven't broken that yet.
God damn it, he's still alive.
I would say you'd be able to. This would probably be the point where you start to feel the conflict in Raw.
Mhm.
You would actually sense the moment that he sets eyes upon Oho. You wouldn't be able to understand the emotions at this time, but you would sense that spike of emotion.
I think as the crypt chases are being escorted to the crypt as the crypt chases are being
Where are we going?
escorted to Guy's ship for the little hop skip jump over to theirs. Ego will go to Dove. Look, so before I left those two, because Raul wanted to go deeper into the fucking tombs, because of course he did. We did like and he does the motion that they did of clasping arms. We sort of made a bond of sorts. I don't know how this thing works, but I'm semi tethered to him, so he's not dead, at least. I can tell that much. Chav, but he's not dead. But something weird is happening. Something not life altering, I don't think. So that's positive. But something is happening.
I'm going to be honest with you, Ego. We're at that point where if Raal is not dead and were to emerge tomorrow morning as a Sith Lord, I would not bat an eye. That being said, how much effort are we willing to put into perhaps steering that in a different direction? Or otherwise, recuperating the bodies, because even dead, those guys do have some very interesting bits and pieces on them.
I don't need to tell you how much I don't want to be here in this tomb on this planet any longer than I have to. However, we spent
What
time
does your bleeding
together.
heart tell you, Ego?
We
I don't mind going
sat
in there,
back
guns
to
blazing.
back.
How do you feel?
We channeled like some emotional stuff. I feel something. I don't say I have a bleeding heart, okay? It's bad for my reputation. Okay.
Will you feel better if I pick you up and put you over my shoulder and carry you down?
No. But he is literally the the Brittany Broski kombucha face. That. No, it's fine. Let's just. It just. I hate myself. Just take. Let's just go.
I freaking love it. The conflict. That's great. All right. So the two of you start going further in.
Yeah.
Dove goes first, following
All
Ego's
right.
direction, because if Ego's got a tether, she's partly banking on that could help guide them down.
That's fair. That is fair. Okay, so the two of you begin to make your way further, deeper in to the tomb of Naga Sadao. You take the winding paths that, as you make your way through, you begin to notice recent activity has been through here. And as you enter into the next antechamber, you'll take notice of a long rifle, a long blaster, a repeating blaster rifle, just absent-mindedly discarded to the side. Shortly there, further along, you'll take immediate notice to lightsaber scoring across the ground, across several statues along the way. And as you approach, or as you cross over through the threshold into the next chamber, you have to catch yourselves as you go to take a step, and you come to the realization that the floor beneath your foot has given way.
I can fly. And I might need to... Do I need to carry you at this point? How far is the next surface?
You look down into this cave-in. It is just a vast black darkness below you. As dust obscures your view, you come to the realization that this goes beyond, well, 100 feet, 200, 300, 400, 500 feet. And as you come to this realization, you see the faint glow of a singular blade. Oh, what is the color of your blade once more?
The color of the blade is yellow with a tint of amber. So it's yellow, but it has a little bit of inclination toward orange.
From this distance, the blade appears as if it is an orange blade. But it is faint. But you do pick up this light source. You can't
You're not
reverse
afraid of
this.
heights, are you?
Am I afraid of... Where is this going? Oh... Your guns loaded? All 12 of them?
Yep.
Okay.
I will say, in an effort to safely navigate down this hole with a passenger on your suit, you will have to discard some weapons, temporarily. As trying to carry a person along with all your entire arsenal will be a bit difficult.
Ego, I'm sorry, you gotta go.
Listen, I'll wait up here. Like, there's... I don't need to go. I don't know what you're thinking about. I would rather Dove take all of the weapons she needs and more and leave me here.
Mind you, I have a weapon harness specifically for that reason, which mitigates the cubism rating of my main
Right.
weapon.
Yeah. So,
However, what can I drop?
what do you think would be least helpful for you?
I don't need an item blaster.
The blaster rifle, maybe.
I could drop my disruptor pistol because I'm not expecting any droids down there.
The light repeating blasters are your most effective tool for the most part.
Yes.
You're using that for the control arm.
Yes.
So you could probably ditch the blaster rifle. The blaster pistols aren't too much of an encumbrance. The Night Sister Duskblade, maybe, and the Vibroblade.
I can ditch a vibroblade.
Okay.
And probably the ion blaster.
All right.
Oh no, I'll drop the holdout blaster.
Okay. All right, with those 3, I'll instead of the 3 that I was going to give you, you'll only have to do a piloting check with ego with a setback of 1. Average. You're navigating through a uneven surface, so let's make this a hard difficulty just to safely navigate through these multiple floors safely with a passenger. So yeah, let's do a hard difficulty with a challenge with a setback of 1. Nothing too crazy. Yeah. So planetary piloting check.
That is 4 successes, 1 advantage, and 1 triumph.
What the fuck?
I think my weapons are heavier than ego,
That's okay. You rolled this challenge.
or close to. Close to.
All right, let's roll a
And
7.
ego is more maneuverable, honestly.
Okay. Cool. 4 threats remaining. Yeah, you're really good. Okay. So yes, let's go ahead and say that this navigation takes about half of your suit's fuel. So, in order to safely navigate with the passenger on board, it takes up about half of your fuel cell left in your suit to navigate down this way. With that, you'll know that trying to navigate back up this hole, to do so safely going forward, you'll have to go up alone. But you have enough fuel to get yourself up in order if the need arises. But yeah, you drop all the unnecessary equipment that you know you'll have a need for in the moment. The viral blade, the disruptor pistol, the blast rifle. You look around, take stock of your suit's heads-up display. Take in Ego's biometrics and in your calculations, and you realize you've dropped enough gear to adequately navigate this tunnel safely and not burn all of your remaining fuel in your suit. And Ego reluctantly boards the SS Dove cruise.
SS.
I like
I like to think that they've kind of role reversed, the classic pose where it's like someone has their arm like wrapped around someone and the other's clinging to them, just like this, except it's just Ego clinging
The cradle carry.
Yeah.
Ego's just cradled in Dove's arms as her thrusters just ignite, and she just descends into this cavernous hole. Let's go ahead and return back to the scene of the temple itself. Oh, you can hear overhead the sound of thrusters beginning to descend over top of you. The being before you, staring at you quizzically. You can very much sense that his intentions are still locked onto Rawl, but you have piqued his interest.
Can I, while this is happening, can I roll my force die just to have them as a preemptive? I'm not doing anything with them right now. It's just a thing of I doubt that my weapons are going to do much here.
You
If
want to know
shit-
what you got.
Yeah, if shit hits the fan, whatever Hail Mary I'm going to have to pull up, considering how wounded I am, will probably be force related.
So, I'm going to have to say no, because you have to roll an ability check associated with the force power in order to generate force points. So unless you're activating a force power, you can't preemptively roll force die to generate points.
So okay, and if I do the roll needs to happen immediately.
In conjunction with an ability, yeah.
Yeah, and it has to happen in the moment. Like I cannot like do the check and then keep it for. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So cool. Then none of that.
Sorry,
none
buddy.
of that. At this point, I will say that to add to the visuals here, Oho's ritual Night Sister blade is protruding, or rather, is basically stuck in the middle of the lost brother's chest.
So let me paint a picture for the viewers of what the Night Brother is currently looking like before Oho. This individual, who you all once seen before, now adorned in heavy battle armor that some of you are acquainted with in regards to the Inquisition that proceeded before. He bears heavy chest armor, pauldrons protruding about 6 inches from the shoulders, a lightsaber hilt with a circular guard enveloping it that lays about 2 feet off to his side as he lays on the ground, grasping the blade of Oho's Night Sister blade, buried into his stomach. You can hear the sound of blood curdling through the voice modulator of his helmet. A singular slit that traverses the entirety of his mask glows red. He just lays there, gasping.
What are you waiting for? Do it.
I'm going to say that Oho is ignoring the Lost Brother right now. Their focus is entirely on the apparition in front of him. And corner of his eye, obviously, the awareness of the blade, that it's very close to Chav. I think Oho is looking at this aberration, hearing the Lost Brother, not paying attention to them. And he speaks to the aberration. They'll probably be dead soon. But they serve your side, I think. And it seems that they have proven themselves unworthy. You're muted.
Tempted. But why should I relinquish this sacrifice?
As he looks down at the gold-skinned Nothwin that lays before him, paralyzed, unable to move of his own volition.
Because then you will give me the opportunity of a rematch.
Go ahead and give me a charm check with 2 boost die. Okay.
3 successes, 3 advantages.
Against 4 failures,
Bastard.
1 threat. You do have a triumph in the pocket.
Technically speaking, this is a different session technically from the battle upstairs. Is it considered?
I would honestly say this is probably coinciding with that. Well,
It was my triumph.
right. Yeah, that's what I was referring to was Dove's triumph. She didn't have to use it for her check. She succeeded. So, if Dove is willing to hand that off,
Sure.
it'd bring it to just 2 advantages instead of I mean, it would still technically be a failure, but you still hold the upper hand in the conversation.
I just need to look at something. Sorry. I just need to make sure.
Could I let Oho burn my once a day use of natural charmer that you've given me and I've never been able to use?
Yeah, I don't think I have it.
The answer is no, chap.
Shut up, Rawl.
Denied.
Yeah, that's it. I don't think I have anything.
I'll do you this. You can use your natural charmer ability to provide that many boost die. So whatever your persuasion or your charm check is, you can provide that many boost die.
So I roll a charm check and then he can have that many boost die is what I'm hearing.
No. Whatever your innate charm is.
Oh, 1 proficiency, 1 ability.
Okay, we'll call that 3 boost die. So you can go ahead and add 3 more boost die to that check.
Hell yeah.
Oh shit, okay.
That works.
We love it when shenanigans work.
I'm always willing to work with the players here. All right, I like this. Okay. You see this aberration. Consider your words.
Tell me, Jedi, why do you care for these souls? Why risk everything to save one?
My entire life, I have only cared for one soul and one soul alone. And they are in this chamber. As long as I can make sure they are safe, and if I can protect others who have helped me keep them safe, that's all I care for. Also, I'm no Jedi.
Can I hear this conversation?
This is taking place in front of you. You have been actively free of the bind power, so.
I mean, I am at long range band. I don't know.
Acoustics, baby!
You are in a vast tomb. Stone reverberates pretty well.
Hey, Oz. The GM said you heard it.
Thanks.
Stop trying to talk him out of it.
As you're considering this, it's at this time that you will bear witness to Dove and Ego descending into the chamber. Dove, Ego, you guys will see this ghastly apparition of immense dark, or I wouldn't even say dark, but chaotic attunement to the Force. He's neither light nor dark. He but he does not instill calm or fear into you. He instills uncertainty into you as the closer you draw to him.
I think Dove just quietly hears Ego, like just loud enough just for Dove to hear. She's like, God damn it.
The chamber itself
What is
is large, about 120 feet in diameter. At the center of this chamber, a singular sarcophagus that the lid itself is ajar. You can see what appears to, as you descend, appears to be somewhat of a fresh corpse. Despite the fact that the tomb surrounding it is thousands, if not millions of years old. And the apparition itself seemingly holding some level of malice towards one of your companions, as you see it actively holding a crimson red blade over top of Chav, who seems to appear paralyzed before him. You see off to your left, as you descend, Rawl, who remains suspended in air upon climbing gear. Oho, who is at the ground level, merely feet away from Chav himself, standing over top of a heavily wounded Inquisitor. I'm certain Dove would probably react the way that she normally does and take up a elevated position instead of going into close proximity and break out her trusty light repeater.
correct?
Keeping this entity locked into her sights. Ego. Where do you go?
Listen, I'm with Dove wherever she is. But I think Ego will see Oho, see Chav on the floor, see Rawl a little ways away on a rope.
He's about 25 feet overhead of you, just suspended from a hole in the roof. And a different hole. Not the same hole you descended.
I think Ego will take in those three being alive. Oho is a surprise. And then the dominating figure that is on top of Chav. Oh, look, it's my favorite Johnny. Surprised to see you here again. Lovely to meet you a second time. What's happening?
Silence. Sleep.
I think Ego is going to
Full disclosure, this guy's a bit of an asshole. This is not reflective of any of us. This is just he's an ancient being of a forgotten time. Please don't hold that against us.
Is he an asshole? I didn't get that vibe.
And just a quick PSA from TVA.
Can I take an action to do a disarming smile? So I'm just gonna grin my ever sweet grin at him. So succeed in opposed charm check to lower all defenses of a target by ranks in Disarming Smile until the end of the encounter, and I have 2 ranks in that.
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead and perform that. That's going to be a hard difficulty, and he has 3 ranks in Nobody's Fool, which upgrades the difficulty by 3.
Okay.
So that would be a hard difficulty with a challenge of 3. Would you like to roll that difficulty, or would you like me to?
Wait, I'm just trying to see. Do I have setback?
No setbacks. This is just...
No setbacks.
In fact, I'd probably give you a boost. I would give you 2 boost die from the successful negotiations presented so far from both Oho. No, presented by Oho so far.
I was trying to remember something, which is something else I have. I have Congenial, which I may suffer a number of strain to downgrade the difficulty of charm or negotiation checks. So I just need to suffer a little bit of strain to bring that down. Thank you so much.
Oh no!
Get him.
I shouldn't have given you boost die. No.
Thanks. So what difficulty did you choose? I think it was.
What?
Pass.
It's a hard difficulty with a challenge of 3.
Cool. So if I spend 2 strain, what's that?
What's the stipulation for the ability? How many points?
So it states, may suffer a number of strain to downgrade difficulty of charm or negotiation checks, or upgrade difficulty when targeted by charm or negotiation checks by an equal number.
Okay, so you suffer a point of strain per downgrade.
Oh, I can only do one.
Okay.
Strain suffered this way cannot exceed ranks in Congenial. I only have 1 rank in it. I will get more.
Got you. Okay, so it'll downgrade the difficulty from a challenge of 3 to a challenge of 2, but it's still hard difficulty.
Okay.
That's cool.
So I will.
And you still have the 2 boost die from Chav, or not Chav, Oho.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit!
Oh my.
Okay.
Part of the
So
dice.
We
Part of
saw
the
what
charm.
Like Spirit Bomb.
Spirit bombs.
Give me what you're under.
People of Earth, lend me your spirit!
Okay. Charm.
Or lend me your energy. There you go, that's the right one.
Oh,
Burden
So
of Triumph.
so if we
Burn.
use our triumph, we win, right?
No.
I
Because
have.
we already burned
4
that triumph for Oho to succeed his check.
Mother.
Ego just got a triumph though.
Yeah. Well, that's included in the 4 successes.
Well, wait, did Oho burn it? Because I thought that my natural charmer is the reason why I ended up passing.
Oh shit! Yeah, you didn't have to burn the triumph.
So we wheel back again. I win.
So that brings you to 5 successes against 5 failures. So that's still technically a failure. However, you do have 7 advantages.
So we win.
By a technicality, I guess. Yes.
Well done. Well done.
I'll give it to you.
Ego is done.
Technically, there's one advantage from Oho's success.
For the
too.
story.
So, before I give my final verdict, I need to understand what exactly you're trying to achieve with this.
I want. So he's already kind of dismissed me as like lesser than him. I want him to not view me favorably, because I don't think that's going to happen, but look at me with like a kinder light, if there is such a thing within him.
Adorable pet. Oh,
Fuck.
look.
And what I hear is that
adorable he
mechanic
tries.
what I hear is that mechanically this lowers his defense.
Yeah.
This is gonna make me have to. How am I gonna do this without feeling disgusting?
Feel disgusting. Dive right in.
No, I don't want Tarzan to feel disgusting.
I do. Squish it between your toes.
It's
Okay.
going to lower his defenses by 2.
Yeah.
So
He's
essentially, he does not
Trying to
regard
get
me
him.
as,
he's
regard me
trying
as much
to-
of a threat.
Yeah. So, trying to have him perceive you as continue to perceive you as just a slave. To disregard you in that sense. So gross. All right, here we go.
You say you're not a Jedi. You carry a slave. That is not traits common of the Jedi. You say you're not a Jedi. You carry a slave with you. These are traits not associated with Jedi. Then what am I to believe you to be?
Inkoho feels the exchange, hears the words used by this being. And his lightsaber slowly just moves slightly closer to the Lost Brother's neck, where it's like burning his skin from the proximity. Yeah. I do not know from what dark times you come from, but let it make something clear. Whatever you have awoken to, this is not a place of slaves. And those that you speak of, they have a will of their own. They have power of their own. And I do not care how much power you think you have or you may possess. But this is not your time. Not anymore. This is the time where your kind ends up underneath my blade. Not a Jedi, a survivor. Take your fallen apprentice. Teach them maybe what you can. We will leave. And then the Force may will, when we meet again, and determine who's the victorious one.
As you finish your statement, the apparition of Ketbar blood begins to dissipate. The blades themselves retract. Do I have a retracting lightsaber, deactivating lightsaber sound? Yes, I do. There we go. You watch as the two hilts fly back over to the sarcophagus. Chav, in this moment, you feel the paralyzing effect that has held you this whole time finally relinquish. Relent, I guess it would be the appropriate term. For a moment, you all breathe a sigh of relief.
Do I sense this energy leave, depart, or travel anywhere?
You still feel it localized in this room.
Chev, can you move?
I don't want to, but I feel like I have to.
You have to.
Chav is looking rough in this moment.
Chav, guy, Oho is gonna throw a stim pack at you. I believe those are 5 HP. He's gonna inject one on himself as well.
Roll.
Will gladly take that as it brings me back down to no wounds.
It is at this time you all watch as Rawl is yanked from the ropes that he is suspended from. Drawn directly to the sarcophagus as the body of Kepvar Blood extends erect from the sarcophagus, grasping him by the throat. You go to say,
You leave here of your own accord, but you will not leave without the knowledge that I have promised.
and with that, you watch as the decrepit form of Kepvar Blood reaches up with his free hand, presses his 2 fingers in one fluid movement to Rawl's forehead.
Can I try to resist this?
Go ahead. Give me a athletics check with your force rating.
With my
You have to,
with my okay, got you.
I'm not able to prevent any of the current narration, correct?
this would be happening in almost an instant, unless you had the sensibility, which Sprawl had his up, but that was directed to Ego specifically. Yeah, I would say in this moment, no. There wouldn't have been time to react to this, as this is just as Rawl's being drawn to him, he's already extending his hand up to Rawl's head.
So am I able to react at the point where the hand is being extended, or at the point that the hand has finally made contact with Rawl's head?
Let's resolve Rawl's attempt to try and resist. I need a athletics check and a force roll.
And force roll.
Yeah.
I am spending 2 strain to up my force threshold to 3. Here's my roll.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have to beat a 10.
Oh.
Be a 10.
Alright.
What the hell?
Well, I rolled a triumph, so I guess I pocket that.
We'll save that triumph. You unfortunately do not overpower this this being. So, Oho, you can react, but at the same time, Rawl, your vision goes black.
2 strain to increase my force rating to 3.
Okay.
And then I'm going to roll my force die as I am. Fuck. 1 second.
He's got you by the throat, but my arms are free, right?
Oh yeah. Your vision is black. He's got you by the throat.
Can I summon my vibro axe in my hand?
I'm going to say you are currently staggered, immobilized, and disoriented in this moment as he is actively probing your mind right now. So those conditions wouldn't allow you to take any actions.
I am going to attempt to use my mastery of suppress.
Okay. Okay. Your mastery of suppress. What? Go ahead and roll the force check that is associated with that. And what are you trying to do with that?
Basically, what I'm trying to do is just kill as much of the power of the flow of information or energy or whatever that this thing is trying to send in Raw's direction.
Okay. Go ahead and make that ability check. Is there an opposed check that needs to be made?
I can read it to you. The user may make a suppress power check along with an opposite discipline versus discipline check, targeting another force
Discipline.
user.
Okay. So it's a discipline versus discipline. Okay. So his discipline is a formidable difficulty with the challenge of 5.
I'm not going to make this. I don't think I can actually make this.
And I would technically be able to upgrade it with his abilities, but I'm not going to. I'll just stick with the 5 challenge die. I'm interested in seeing how this would play out.
So spend force point to add additional automatic failures. Equal to strength. Okay. So are you rolling and I'm rolling, correct? Like we're both rolling?
No, just you roll, add a formidable difficulty with the challenge of 5.
Formidable, and then I add 5 red. Like
or you can, just add 5 red proficiency die.
Okay, yes, I already did this. Whew.
Let's see what you do.
Wow.
Well, you got two more points to succeed. You can, even if you do convert that dark side point, you still wouldn't succeed.
Can I give him my light side?
No. You are currently incapacitated as he is penetrating your mind. Okay.
Can I?
Wait!
I'm trying to jump in.
Wait, I have a question. Roll,
Yes.
Is your Coven ability from Night Sister activated?
Yes.
So actually, I cannot believe this is going to come into play. As
Finally.
Night Sisters, if you have someone near you that actually is the Night Sister and has the Coven ability, you can choose one force die and re-roll it.
Ooh, you got 1 force die left to roll. Okay. All
So I'm
right.
rolling 1 force die.
Let's see what you got.
Oh!
You know, I want to do that. Can I do that thing?
Yeah. Okay. In this moment, okay, we watch as Rawl is drawn to the desiccated body of Kevlar Blood, grasping him by the throat at the same time, reaching up, touching him on the forehead. Oho sees this, instinctively reaches out through his training to suppress whatever this entity is trying to do to his brother. In this fleeting moment, Rawl, your senses are flooded with ancient knowledge of the teachings that came before you, before the Jedi Order, before the Republic, before the Empire, before the Old Republic. You feel knowledge beyond its time entering into your mind. You gain what would have been 2 force abilities. Instead, you only gained 1, as Oho manages to reach out and stop this flow of information. You gain the force ability. One second, I gotta go back to my list here. Not that one. You gain the force ability Endure. You feel this entity trying to teach you. And at first you're wanting to resist, but you're gaining knowledge beyond what has been readily available to the Jedi Order of this time, or the Sith. Whatever knowledge that the Sith have to pass on. And you find yourself almost starting to open up to this knowledge before your connection with this entity is suddenly cut short. The remains of Ketvar blood goes limp. The corpse itself falls back into its sarcophagus, and Rawl, you fall to your knees next to the coffin. You have full mastery over the power of Endure.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Did I help with the no catch?
Are you telling me that I could have gotten 2 powers? My brother just denied me?
Hey, take the win. Take the win.
As this connection is severed, a shockwave erupts from the sarcophagus. I'm going to need a athletics check from everyone except for Rawl.
And this is how I die.
Hard difficulty.
+2.
Not hard difficulty, average difficulty.
Are you rolling difficulty, or are we?
You guys can roll the difficulty for your checks. I want to see you guys make yourselves fail.
Wait, what are we rolling?
Is that me and Ego too?
Yes, everyone in the chamber.
Oh, wait, I have extra... Wait, do I still suffer all of those extra setbacks from him?
No, he dropped the condition.
So I have 1 because I still have shaken.
What are we rolling, Sully?
Or off balance, rather.
Athletics or your choice, athletics or coordination. I'll let you choose.
That's totally different, Tarzan.
An athletics check? I triumph? That doesn't sound right.
Too difficult?
Difficulty?
Average difficulty for everybody.
2 successes to advantage.
That was a clutch move on Noho's part. What that costed his brother is that's. We'll find out.
No way for me to know. Nobody showed me the menu before a corpse decided to just grab my brother.
Also,
Yeah, corpse has been,
did Ego feel that happen through the connection?
Yes, you would have.
Ew.
You would have sensed this entity trying to pass on knowledge of possibilities that you would never have dreamed of.
Mate, Ego doesn't know what they have to begin with.
So your eyes are open wide. Whoever this person is has knowledge of seemingly everything there is to know about the Force.
Sir DM.
Yeah, but he's an asshole, so.
Sir DM, might I interject here with this? Because the bond that both Ego and Raw are sharing right now via the sensibility, i.e., he's basically seeing into my mind and emotions, would Ego get a part, maybe not the full tree, but a part of the tree?
Ooh, look at you playing devil's advocate. The question ultimately lies with Ego. Would Ego be willing to accept anything this agent of chaos has to offer? Would they open their mind to the knowledge that this entity has to offer in the moment? It was almost instantaneous, so I would say you would not have a chance to deliberate. This would be a instantaneous decision moment.
Like
You sense Rawl being infiltrated.
train coming, you have to move or not.
Yeah. Would Ego have opened his mind along with Rawls? Rawls was forcibly penetrated. Pause.
Matt. I swear to God.
Are we
sorry.
on a mature rating here?
We are now.
We are? Okay. This is how you get skull fucked, okay? Just saying. Anyway.
There
That
it
being
is.
said, does Ego maintain their guard, or does he go down the rabbit hole?
I No.
Okay. No, you do not open your mind?
It would be nice. It would be nice. But I think Ego is very much like, I don't want shit to do with this place.
Very
So
guarded. Okay.
just shuts that down.
If
Okay.
I may also for like flavor, when these visions are happening to Rawl and Oho is trying to get in there because he doesn't know what this thing is trying to do, and he feels as if his force energy is not enough, he, for the first time in a long time, feels the bond between the two of them, the force bond of their training in Dathomir.
Yeah.
And most likely what happens is that visually, all of these things that are happening are visions from this aberration. And in the middle of them, one of them ends up in Dathomir with like this figure of Oho standing outside of the temple of the Night Sisters. That visual all of a sudden is like hands out, and it just yanks you out.
Right. For the visual, the knowledge that is passed on to you, Rawl, you find yourself being propelled through thousands of years to the point that you find yourself currently standing in now. You find yourself standing in the middle of a battlefield, alone. At the far end of the field, a united front of both Sith and Jedi alike. Artillery, embattlements, armies, all standing in opposition of this singular figure, you. You watch as artillery rounds begin to rain down an arc across the sky. Shells impacting the ground surrounding your area until eventually these massive bolts of lasers rain down onto you directly You feel yourself emboldening yourself through the Force to sustain any form of grievous injury, ignoring dismemberments, eviscerations, crushing forces, all of that being dispelled by the innate connection to the Force to endure, to make your body a fortress unto itself. You have complete mastery of the ability to endure blows from a lightsaber, artillery fire, blaster bolts. You are a goddamn powerhouse.
Fucking finally.
And just as this vision ends, you feel yourself being propelled to another time. You get a glimpse before the connection is severed of another moment on the battlefield. But yet you are on the side of the Jedi and the Sith. You find yourself in the form of a woman. She begins to kneel onto the ground and meditate as she extends her connection to the Force to those surrounding her. And as you are about to discover the nature of this ability, you are yanked from this time and brought back to the present, forcibly. Your breath returns to your chest, heaving as if you've been running for years. Sweat perspirating your entire body. You feel yourself empowered, strengthened, exasperated. And you watch as your vision returns, the now soulless corpse that once held you by the throat crumple and fold back into its sarcophagus. The pedestal of which his lightsabers lay, presented there before you. The black, embossed with gold filigree lightsaber hilts. What that knowledge was, what this power promises, now lost to you. As you realize, looking over to your brother, who has seemingly cut off your connection to this entity, in possession of a power that you didn't have once before.
I'll be honest. This point in time, Raw feels like a strung out, raggedy doll. The whiplash he has felt over the course of literally just 10 minutes is immense. Going from hanging on that rope, watching as the ceiling collapsed around him, seeing his brother appear from the rebel, the exchange, being ripped from the rope all of a sudden, once again powerless. and then experiencing all the scenes, I imagine it would have felt like some kind of entity stabbed through his gut and pulled backwards through his spine. And then as he is watching all these scenes pass, all he can see is just that entity, that abhorrent pinnacle of malice, and he's just there. And then all of a sudden it snaps into focus, that first scene, so crystal clear. It almost could taste the dust and the burning. And then pulled back. Yeah, he's not sure exactly where he is right now. He's not sure exactly where if he should feel anything right now. Should he feel relief? He has no idea what he is. Is he now marked as a harbinger, or is he safe? And as he's looking at his brother, all he can think is finally something I can hold on to. And he just collapses into his arms and probably just passes out from all the stress.
I've given you knowledge, though it be interrupted. You possess enough information to make you a threat to my next harbinger. Go forth. Expand on what you have learned. Create conflict where you go. Continue to strive for more. Be you Jedi or not, Sith or otherwise, the Force is chaos, and I am the Force. And that's where we'll go to break. Thank you all, you wonderful Tubi Dicers, for tuning in. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you shortly.
Hello and welcome back, all you wonderful 2B Dicers. We're back and at it with our scene after the collapse of Rawl, after being thrusted through thousands of years to ancient knowledge that is bestowed upon him. Chav, you find yourself clambering to your feet as you watched your companion thrusted through the air by some incorporeal force.
So kind of reading chat and hearing or reading what you had said was like everything was sort of instantaneous reactions. Like goes to show exactly how instantaneous it is when I say that Chav with literally mechanically enhanced reflexes doesn't even have time to level his holdout blaster at this entity before the whole thing is done.
As you raise the barrel of your blaster to react, you watch as the glowing red eyes of this corpse suddenly go black as Oho extends his hand out towards, in reaction, compelling the force to suppress whatever this entity is affecting upon his brother. You watch, you can't help but witness as Rawl seems to be thrusted through time itself in just a moment. Suddenly drenched in sweat as if he's ran a marathon time and time again. You don't know what this entity just did to your companion, but you know Rawl was affected in some way.
Chav's gonna limp his happy ass over there to try to, as best as he can, like pull an arm over Rawl and get him to his feet. Just like, all right, I think you've had enough fun for one day. Let's get the fuck out of here. How about that?
You hear Oho call you Chav as Oho throws another stim back at you for Raul.
Uses it while trying to get over to the rope that leads up and out of here.
Oho is actually going to turn his attention to the lost brother.
Your deal has been accepted. Leave your offer. And I shall not pursue you any further. And I shall not pursue you any further.
Did he say leave the offering? What offering?
The lost brother.
Got you. I'm on level now.
Decide quickly, my pets are growing hungry.
And as he says that, you watch at the far end of the tomb the first wave of Ducata that begin to form. You see about 15 hounds sitting obediently, their glowing red eyes locked onto each individual force sensitive in this chamber.
would move quickly if I were.
Okay, let's boogie. Chav, let me help you here with. And Ego is going to come up to the other side of Rawl and is just whispering so fiercely to the both of you. I swear to fucking God, if you ever do something like this again, just don't involve me. Just forget I exist. Like, don't call me.
I listen. This was not my idea. I thought that I was given some faith to Rawl, and that was clearly a bad choice, and it will never happen again. Alrighty, time to get the fuck. And I'm going to hook shot my ass out of this fucking hole.
Question, Sir DM. The hole that the rope leads to, how big is it?
It's about a 6-foot wide hole, big enough to allow digging equipment that the pirates had brought with them to come through. Not crazy big. However, the hole that you descended through is about 20 feet wide. But each level is about 150 feet. It has a 150-foot ceiling. So it would not be an easy jump.
How many bands of distance is that? From ground to the top of the rope.
So that would be 150 is 3 range bands.
Okay. Chav, are you able to take Rawl with you?
Well, I just did with 6 successes, so.
Great. I see Dove. I see they have this huge thing on. Don't ask any questions. It came down. I'm going to assume that thing goes back up. Ego being the only one remaining that would need to start moving through the rope. I'm going to say that Oho looks at Ego, and I'm going to try to channel the force to use my move ability.
Okay.
And I don't know if there's a skill that I need to roll with this.
Ranged light attack.
Ranged light attack?
I believe that's what it calls for the ability. For the power.
Really?
Let me double check. Move.
This one is spin. I mean, it only says spend force die.
Gross.
Because technically speaking, I'm not using it to hurl an object, so it's not like I'm attacking with something using it. I'm attempting to, which technically I don't know if this is something that you can use on people. So I guess I'll leave that up to you. Can move be used on people, or is it just objects?
No, you can use it on people. That's how that was how Kevlar was able to move Rawl.
So
Strength increase. I believe it's strength or magnitude increases silhouette.
Yes, I am aware. So I just want to know. I just need to roll the force die, correct? To see how many force die I get?
Yeah. If you're not trying to inflict damage in a sense, then it's just the force die ability itself.
Great. That's 5 light side.
You got plenty of points to spend to finally maneuver a individual using the force.
So I'm going to say.
Can I just really quick, like, you come back and you made 1 force roll and you've rolled more light side tokens than Rawl has ever.
I just rolled a die. Oho looks at Dove. Oho looks at Ego and points at them. You see them like put their hand like this, and he just says, "Watch your head," and it raises his hand. And Ego, you literally feel your body as you are moved up in the like literally next to the rope, upward, as many range bends as I'm allowed.
You can do extreme with that many points, I believe.
So what is that? Whatever, as far as that gets Ego to the top
That's
of the rope.
4 range bands, so you can do that's 200 feet.
And you said it was 120.
150 feet between each level.
Between each level.
But I mean, you have all of force move unlocked, so you can move them however far you want to, really.
Well, I want to
so
yeah. So
Can
So-
he reduce it so that he can like lift himself as well, maybe to a shorter distance?
well, that's what I'm trying to. That's why I'm trying to like figure out like how many. Because I don't necessarily, Ego doesn't necessarily need to go all the way up.
we're getting too mechanical with it. You're able, with the amount of points that you're able to generate, you're able to do as much as you want and as far as you want.
Okay.
If you're doing, I would say if you're just doing using the move ability to move 2 people, you're able to cover as much distance as you want.
Okay, so I'm basically going to say it this way. I want to use this to move Ego, which is single individual,
Okay.
with the potential of using force with enhance for myself later on. Or rather, not later on, but as a follow-up.
Yeah. Using the enhanced ability to jump 150 fucking feet up. I like it. Force jump, baby.
Yes. So here's the procedure of this. Ojo says, watch your head. Moves the hand up. Ego, you find yourself just being like, it's not like a throw. You're not being like, slingshot. You literally, as he starts lifting his hand, you feel your body just basically start lifting, and he makes sure that you're sort of slowly moving upward right next to the rope. And I'll say that you probably like get like pretty high until you kind of go to a moment where you realize that his hand is raising, and then he sort of stops and you feel like you're not going further up on the rope. So that would be a good time for you to like grab it and like go the rest of the way.
That's fine. Yeah, Ego will grab hold of the ropes like this. When did he learn how to do that? Did he always do that? I think I talked to him that much. I need to talk to him more.
I will say Ojo probably takes a moment to check on Dove. You're able to make your way out the way that you came in.
Shouldn't be a problem. And I feel there for one more trip.
I suggest you do that. And that's the moment like he just sort of like nods in the direction of all like the hounds that are starting to like show up.
As you
One
guys,
shot. I can take care of that.
Ojo is gonna turn to when he said like leave the offering here, is he addressing me from the body?
no. This is a disembodied voice.
Disembodied
now.
voice?
Yeah.
Cool. The disembodied voice says that I see I'm checking on Dove ready to ignite and leave. Ego is going. Raul is being taken by Chav. I'm looking at Chav ascending with Raul. Hear the voice saying, leave the offering. Turn my attention to the lost brother. And then I speak to the voice as I say, I gave you an offering. You didn't take it. You may have not done all you wanted, but you did not take the deal as it was offered. So a half deal means a half offering. And Ojo uses his lightsaber and swipes at the midsection of the lost brother. And as soon as he swipes at the lost brother, turns around, rushes to the sarcophagi, jumps on the edge of it, and you just see him jump up, and it just goes up.
The Tukata roar in unison as they all lunge forth simultaneously. As you, right after you make the swipe at the lost brother, go ahead and make a quick combat check to do that. Targeting the lost brother.
Mm-hmm.
Let me pull him up real quick. See if we can pull this off while trying to do that at the same time. Sith, there we are. Lost brother, add. Okay. Lost brother, there you are. Heavily fucked up as a result of the fight. Okay. All right. You can target him now.
Okay.
And you have two difficulty. You have to upgrade the difficulty of the combat check by 2,
Question:
which
do I
should
need to-
already be factored.
considering the fact that he's defeated?
I'll give you a boost die since he is pinned in place. I'll give you 2 boost die since he's pinned in place.
Okay, I'll give myself
Um,
the same as well. And you said difficulty what?
It's engaged range, so whatever the difficulty is for that, and then upgrade the difficulty by 2 since he is an adversary.
Yeah, that's already there.
And then, yeah.
Yep. It's 4
Okay.
successes, 1 advantage.
You,
And lightsaber crits on 1.
let's see how he does.
So technically speaking, that's also rolling crit damage plus 30 on top of what he already had from the battle.
Yeah.
And also in the last roll that I did in the temple, in the other thing, in the last roll that I did, we didn't play that one, but that was also a strike with advantage, so that would have been another crit damage roll plus 30.
Victor, can you say and also again?
And also, Matt, you look lovely.
There is a shadow double of Oho in the room as well that also just kind of just hops out. And,
And also, I take a Pokemon ball, I throw it, and Mother Tolson comes out and just fucks it up.
And also, Chav shows up in the Northwind Chimera and says, "Smile for the camera."
Okay. So, you lash at the midsection of the lost brother, the blade of your lightsaber coursing through the armor of the Night Brother as if cutting through butter. You can hear his pain groan as you don't spend time reveling in his injury. You leap forth onto the surface of the sarcophagus, using that as a platform to boost your jump. Go ahead and make an acrobatics. Do we have that?
That's athletics.
Athletics?
Yep.
Or coordination, I would probably argue. Athletics. No, that's fine. Utilizing your not your force, not your boost die, your force die. As you're using a force ability to enhance yourself. So that will generate points. You have full mastery of enhance. So whatever you're able to do with that.
Do you want me to roll my die?
Yes.
Force die as well?
Yes.
You saw the coordination one, right? Or do you want me to roll the coordination again with the force?
Just roll the force die.
I will say Is this
The same encounter? Probably, I would argue, no, you guys have been talking this whole time. Okay. So I would say that this brings up a good point. You strike a wounded target that is unarmed. This does raise a bit of confliction in some of the teachings that Eliza has taught you.
Mm-hmm.
This goes against everything Eliza has instilled into you with her training over the years, over the months. Sorry. Your initial reaction is to not be beholden to the teachings of the Jedi, but something has taken root.
I think the moment that this thing yanked Rawl from the rope, and on top of that afterwards wanted for me to just leave the offering as it was, like at that point there's no Jedi code. At that point you hurt my brother regardless.
Right.
And I was trying to give you a deal and you still hurt my brother. So you're looking at me when you keep half of this person.
Right.
So I'll take dark side on that.
Yeah.
Like
I'm trying to explain why you've rolled so many dark side points as opposed to light side. You may not realize it in the moment now, but the months of training that you've spent with Eliza and this act of aggression against a defeated opponent instilled a level of unfocus to which you're not able to call on to the full ability of the enhanced force ability, but you're still able to call upon it. So instead of the initial jump that you thought would get you immediately out of danger, only gets you so far. Still somewhat out of danger, but not as far as you had hoped. It is at this time we are going to enter into a chase scenario.
Cool.
The further back that you are considered, the more setback die you have to your checks. Dove, you are pretty much in the clear. Rawl and Chav, you guys will have 2 setback die to your checks. Ego as well. Sorry, you're in the same area as those 2. Oho, you will have 3 setback die to your checks. Let's go ahead and enter into initiative. Let me clear the current one.
Is this because the Dakota are in pursuit?
The Takara have been released, yes.
Can I shoot them?
From your current position, you're outside of extreme range. I
thought they jumped into pursuit before we actually exited.
You're still in position at the 150 mark, which would put you at extreme range if you have not jumped yet. We haven't discussed whether or not Dove had left the area, so you would probably still be in overwatch position to make sure that your party gets out of safely. So, okay, we can argue that. Okay, so yes, so then Dove and Oho have 3 setback die to their checks for the chase. Depending on what you do during your chase, it could affect the outcome of your rolls. So let's go ahead and roll initiative for everybody. And I'm going to change the theme.
What's initiative again?
This is going to be vigilance for you guys.
Oh, thank God. I'm dying because I'm so shocked. Yeah.
Okay, let me get my Tucata into the table.
Hey guys, we got a triumph on the board
We have
from
three triumphs on the
initiative.
board.
Man,
That's funny. All right. I'm going to do groups of 5 for each. So that's going to give me 3 groups for the initial wave. I'm going to go with this one. There's more. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, there's my 3 slots for my. Why didn't that get added? There we go. For my Takata, we got 3 PC slots. Missing. Who else? Rawl, Oho, Chav, Dove, and Ego. So PC slots are 2, 3. That's Ego. 1, 1, 1. Who's that?
I'm just saying, I had a triumph. How
Chav.
the fuck is a NPC going before anybody in the party?
Because Triumph doesn't do
Dove
anything
is on
for
board.
initiative,
Bullshit.
aside from giving you an extra category to position. And then 2, 1. So we're missing Dove. Okay.
Dove isn't on the board. Yes.
There we go. And then I'm missing a 3, 2, it looks like. Yeah, 3, 2. So that's Oho. There we go. All right. Nope, that's not right. 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's it. Okay, we're good. All right, cool. First player slot in the initiative. What is your action? And are you utilizing everything to escape, or are you doing something to help your party? And that is the question presented to you all.
If I may suggest that the people who are like the closest to these Ducata should probably be the people who go first, since we have control of this, so that they can try to direct their more roles.
I would say,
Okay.
considering that everybody's running and Dove is actually covering and they've been in a position at the ready since they landed, I think that makes sense that Dove is the first person.
I would
fair.
like to use auto fire.
Okay, thank you for disclosing the auto fire feature. Go ahead
I didn't even
and
have time to joke. No, I don't think Dove would go first.
Is it the question mark, but looks like a black creature as part of a token?
did I not? I don't think. Did I not
They're
reveal
not
them?
names.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there we
they're
go.
not
I'll really reveal them. Give me 1 second. There we go. And
Dove, auto fire. Come on down.
Dove with the auto fire. There we go. Okay. All right. All
Yeah,
3 should be
right.
revealed.
Cool.
And yeah, just
Any
target
range?
1. And yeah, they're with not at 150. That's 50 is short, 100 is medium, 150
Long
is long range. Yes.
I'm clicking on the first one available to me.
That's fine. Yeesh.
This is 2 threats and a triumph.
So you can cash in the triumph for a crit, or you can cash it in for an auto fire feature to give you an extra hit.
Yeah, we'll do the auto fire.
Okay,
Just to
Alright.
keep as many at bay as possible.
that's fair. That's a +2 to the damage, so 19. Pierce of 2 ignores 2 points of soak. Deadly accuracy. What does that do?
+5. That's my to one shot.
To the 1 hit. Okay. Okay.
And
So the
at long
first.
range, which it is.
So that's +5 for the first shot. That's 17 plus 5 is 22 plus 2, 24. 24 plus 17 is 39 points of damage minus 4 points of soak, which ignores all of their soak. Okay.
And
You-
the race sequence done. Good job, guys.
You open fire. As you do, the blaster bolts start raining down on this first wave of Takata. You drill one center mass right in the cranium. That first one slumps to the ground, lifeless. The second one that is directly affected takes a glancing blow off the withers of its form, and you can see that its thick hide is scored, but it does not appear to be grievously wounded, but it maintains its charge. That ends your turn, or are you going to use your maneuver to begin to ascend?
Am I able to do that as a maneuver?
That's
Yeah,
a good
like-
question. Does the suits tell you that, or no?
Is moving in general a maneuver? Because the suit is technically an armor.
Yeah, no, the suit itself says as a maneuver. Yeah, the wearer can engage flight systems. So yes, you can fly.
I will do that. I will actively try to maintain long to extreme range as possible.
Okay. All right, sounds good. You engage your thrusters and begin to ascend up the hole that you descended upon, with Oho only a couple feet behind you, just raining down blaster bolts on top of these Takata. The Takata themselves are going to let's see what they got. They don't got much in the way of range, unfortunately, which would be nice. I'm going to activate their intimidating feature. Suffer 2 strain to downgrade the difficulty of a coercion check by a number of times equal to their strain suffered when targeted by coercion. They never mind that. You have to try and intimidate them or coerce them. Popcorn. All right. They can't do jack shit aside from just spending their action and maneuver to try and climb up. That sucks. That's fair though. Okay, so the initial, the most reactive 5 of the group, the first wave of 15, takes lead and begins to quickly scale the walls that the 2 holes are nearest to. You can see them just clawing in foot by foot, almost effortlessly. But that will end the first wave of 5's turn. Next 4 player characters, what are you guys doing and how are you doing it?
Should I go next as the person that's furthest behind?
That's what I would say.
How successful, like how far up did I get with my not fully executed jump?
You had 1 force point to spend, so go ahead and make a... You did the athletics check already, I believe. Let's see.
I think it was like 2 successes and a few advantages.
Yep, coordination. There it is. 2 successes, 5 advantages. And what do you need to activate the force jump or enhance ability? Let's take a look. I think you only need 1 point to really do anything.
I mean,
Let's double check though. Enhance. There you are. Stop moving. Empower your bodily self. Okay. When making an athletics check, the force user may roll an enhanced power check as part of the pool. Range. Power is ranged by a number of range bands equal to range upgrades purchased. To take the force leap action, make an enhanced power check. The user may spend a force point to jump horizontally to any location and jump
there's
vertically with the control.
Mhm.
Does not require a force point, but it takes a force point to leap. So you can jump in short range. So that'll only give you 50 feet. Since you weren't able to generate enough points to use the increased power range. But you do have full mastery, so you could use it as a maneuver.
Okay.
So you still have an action. Okay, control. Enhance can be used with brawl. Enhance can be used with resilience, coordination. Which you're using, piloting, space, and planetary. Ongoing effect commit. One force die, the user increases their agility characteristic by 1 to a maximum of 6. Ooh, very cool. Which your force agility is already probably maxed out, I believe.
So
Okay.
one of the things that I'm going to do, if everyone is okay with this, I'm going to spend one of the destiny points, and I'm going to use my shadow incidental of Shroud,
Ooh.
which I can use by once per session, I think, or encounter. And for the rest of the session, I can actually suppress my presence through the force. So I literally become invisible through the force. So if these things were trying to track me or anything were try to find out where I am through the force, they wouldn't be able to.
That's hot.
So that's probably what's going to be happening as Oho is moving, since I'm not doing necessarily an action because that's an incidental. I would use whatever I can of this turn if I can add maneuver into it to basically get myself up as high as I can on the rope.
Okay. No problem. You use your newfound ability suppress to shield yourself from detection from these force-hungry creatures, and utilize that cover and protection that it provides you to obscure yourself
Obscure.
from their perceptions. Go ahead and you make your way up, and that works. That'll be your turn. Next player in the initiative. What are you doing, and how are you doing it? We got Chav and Rawl and EE go. You guys are about 150 feet away from these creatures. Nope, 100 feet away.
Is Ego technically the closest one, or are we all three on the same?
You all three would be at the same position, just at the mouth of the opening.
I think that I can speak for myself and Ego that we are going to do everything in our power to put as much distance as we can between these hounds and ourselves.
That's fair. That's fair. Go ahead and let's do a athletics check. You guys only have one setback die from your positioning. Let's make it an average difficult.
Could I persuade you into a coordination check instead?
No, because this is relying on your own innate strength to make your way out of these tunnels. Coordination is more so avoiding obstacles and whatnot.
So we're like physically pushing ourselves is what I'm hearing?
You're physically trying to exert yourself to try and escape these tunnels as quickly as possible.
Okay, then since I know that the amount of distance is the same if I do this, could I instead roll a ranged light attack with average difficulty to hook shot myself the exact same distance as it would be for using my whole thing running?
I like that. Go ahead. Give it a shot.
I just don't want to fail. You said 1 setback die?
Yeah. I love that. You're just using your hook shot just to cover the most ground. What's the maximum range on this thing?
Medium range, which is the amount
100
that you
feet,
can-
yeah.
It's the amount that you can move anyway. That's another triumph.
I hate it.
So
I
we
hate
get
it and I
two
love
on the
it.
board.
Yeah, you guys got like 3 or 4 at this point.
I can roll for ego. I don't think that ego has any nifty tricks like that, so I think it's going to just be an athletics check.
Yeah.
What difficulty is it?
Average difficulty.
There are past dies in ego's direction. Do they need that?
Yeah, I don't know what those are for. I've been trying to get rid of them, and they just seem persistent. So
Okay, I'm just gonna do the average difficulty die, and I'm gonna roll that for ego, and hopefully
there you go. Well, that's not good. Well, it's not the worst.
Uh-oh.
Actually, it is kind of bad. I mean, you have a triumph that you could give them.
I will do that.
There you go. That'll let them succeed. They cover just enough distance to not be in immediate danger of the Toccata. Let me remove the Lost Brother, the Apparition. There we go. The Chlor Slugs. We don't need these fools. And the Miners, because they're currently on their own ships. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Ego makes their way down the tunnels after hearing the Toccata just pounding after them. And yeah, without effort, without too much worry, they maneuver safely. They'll end their turn. Rawl, you are next in the initiative. You are final in the initiative, I should say. Raleigh Poo. Rawl Malone. Raleigh. Let's see what they got. Let's take a look at their old sheet here. Keep things going. Okay, they got. Since mercenary soldier, what does that do? Point blank sidestep, second wind, strong arm, field commander. Okay. Endure, outlaw tech, sense, manipulate, sapper. I don't think any of that's going to play a factor. Let's go ahead and just have them burn their action and maneuver to move 100 feet. And that'll put them at the same distance as Ego. You have your little bit ahead, utilizing your gauntlet, your glove to cover the most ground and get a scouting view ahead of the rest of the group. That'll end their turn, and we are now to the Toccata. The last 2 groups of 5. The other 2 in close pursuit, they are going to go after the group that went into the small tunnel, which I believe, Oho, you were at the mouth of the smaller hole you went for? Okay.
Yeah, the one where everybody else was like the rope.
Okay. Yeah, the pirate hole. Gotcha. Okay, so you can hear the sound of claws scraping against stone as the group of 5 that initially launched the assault makes their way up towards Dove as she begins to ascend, utilizing her jetpack. The other 10 begin to claw their way up to the pirate hole where the rest of your group escaped from. You yourself are obscured to their perceptions, but you are in the most immediate danger of them should they perceive you in any form. So that being said, with that close proximity, you will be doing any checks with 4 setback die now, as that would put you in the most immediate danger. That will end their turn as they use their action and maneuver to close the distance of 100 feet. So they are about 50 feet away from all of you. Dove, with your piloting check. Did you do a piloting check with your suit? Let's see. I don't think we did a piloting check.
I just did one for previously.
Oh, yep, I see it. I see it. Yep, there it is.
Okay, good. Another triumph.
That would be an average difficulty with one setback with proximity. Okay, easy enough. Yeah, and you got that triumph for your pocket.
Another one.
So yeah, you're ascending the cavernous hole with your light repeating blaster mounted in your third arm, as it were, and just maintaining line of sight on these Tukata that are climbing up the wall, and trying to draw the attention of the others. That being said, I would assume you'd want to go first again to try and keep
them down. Yes.
Okay. You got 3 still in pursuit of you. You see 10 trying to beeline it for the hole where the pirates made their way in. Those ones would be extreme range from you. The 3 would be long range from you.
I'll try and shake the 3 that are long range from me first, because if they get to me, then I'm useless to everyone else. So we're
That's
not
fair.
gonna let that happen.
Well, okay. Let me put it in perspective for you. If the 10 make it into the pirate hole, you will never be able to have a shot on them unless you descend back into the hole, because that's going through a network of tunnels to get back up to the temple. Whereas the hole that you're going through is just a bypass of all those tunnels. I mean,
Are we going out of different?
There would be a chance that your paths would intersect as you would ascend. I'll give you that. So you could risk it and just risk having intermittent encounters with the pursuing Tukata, or you could try and draw their attention away from the group that are on foot.
Oh, draw the attention. I didn't realize we were going through 2 exits. I was under the assumption.
That's my bad. I had to give you a broader picture of what you're dealing with. Okay, so you're targeting the
triumph.
That would put you at 1 success, 2 advantages.
Wasn't a good shot.
That was fortunate you rolled that triumph. So that's a hit on the group at extreme range. So, Takata's. There's. Yep, okay, everything's accounted for. Okay. That's a 12. Extreme range, you add that deadly accuracy of +5, so that's 17. +1 is 16, or 18. +2 for the long and extreme range. 19 points of damage. Again, you unleash another volley of blaster bolts into the pack into the larger group that is pursuing your companions, and you more centralize your focus more on the one that's the closest to the hole where the pirates came in through. Landing the shot, you hear a yelp coming from the Tukata that you targeted. As several of the bolts impact into the hide and kind of glance off, one does manage to sink in between the shoulder blades and make a grievous enough wound, and you can see the flesh smoldering, and the creature begins to bleed from the wound as it turns its attention from the hole to your position higher up in the temple, and it just lets out this primal growl as its rage is now directed towards you, and it lets out a call to the rest of its group as it directs them to pursue you. You manage to pull one group of Tukata away from the rest of your friends. You still have the maneuver that you can use, which allows you to go another range band up, putting you at extreme range from the first group that is already in pursuit of you, which will be closed back to. Because they were long range, because they spent their movement crossing the room. Okay, so yeah, 100 feet. They covered 100 feet. That's 2 range bands. So, oh no, they're a little bit further behind. Okay. First group is 100 feet away from you. Second group is 150 feet away from you. So, first group is now, as you ascend, 150 feet. Second group is now 200 feet outside of your range. And with that, they're going to use their action and maneuver to close from extreme to long to medium. And they seem to be scaling these walls rather effortlessly. They don't seem to be encumbered by the vertical scaling of the tomb. They're quite agile. In fact, let's go ahead and have them do a athletics check to see how many of them can keep up with your speed. We'll have this be hard difficulty. We're going to take 2 points of strain to convert those points as I can cash in a token. That's 2 additional successes. And 3 advantages. I'm gonna cash in those 3 advantages to give the second group a free maneuver to close the distance by 1 range band. So these ones, the first group moves into medium range. The second group moves from outside of extreme range into extreme range. And that'll end their turn. All right. That'll end. It is now the players' turns. Let's go ahead. And who would like to go next?
I can go. At this point, am I on solid footing above the rope?
Yes.
Did I make it?
Yeah, you cleared the jump.
Okay, and are these hounds are there? Have they managed to move through the hole yet? Or
No, they're just below. They're just below it, about 50 feet.
Cool. What is the rock composition and formation of this area? I'll make it simpler. Are there any boulders, either protruding from walls or ceiling, near the area where I am currently?
There's large debris around you. Yes. There would be some slabs of stone below the Tukata from the pirates cutting their way in, and some slabs of stone behind, in the chamber itself from them cutting their way into this chamber as well. So I would say these slabs of stone would be about a silhouette of 2.
Okay.
So larger than a humanoid.
Yeah, silhouette of 2. I'm gonna roll my force die.
Okay. Are you gonna try and plug the hole? Is that what you're about to do?
It's not gonna happen because I didn't roll well.
Oh no!
So that's a no on that.
You got Eliza nagging in the back of your mind about what you just did to the lost brother right now.
Let's go with that. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do. I mean, honestly.
So that's your action. Try and do that. You reach out, using your discipline to try and do this.
Yeah, I think there's that like a whole sort of like sees the boulders and everything, tries to do the same thing he did when he was trying to help Eliza fighting the hounds in the other planet. And as he thinks about that, he thinks about Eliza, and then he thinks about what he did to the lost brother, and then all of that sort of like comes through his energy, and he feels sort of depleted.
Yeah.
Would attempting to hide or like be a maneuver or an action? Like I want to keep moving. Like I want to use my motion.
Let's see.
But I want to try to do it.
Move, preparation, interact with the environment, guarded stance, assist, aim. There is no to stealth. That's activating a skill check, so you'd have to do that. Would be an action.
Okay.
So you can get distance, but you can't hide as of right now.
I can get distance, but I can't hide as of right now. Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing that I can do is just move.
Okay.
I'm just gonna use as much. I'm gonna make as much distance as I can.
All right. So you move one range band. That's going to give you 50 feet. You're trailing behind the rest of the group. You're a little ways behind them, but you can see them ahead of you as you're just battling with this confliction of your most recent action with the teachings that Eliza has instilled into you over the months. That conflict of your own morals that you've grew up with, impacting with the teachings of the Jedi. You feel like you shouldn't be burdened by this, but it still seems to be instilling or affecting you in this moment, in this time, and it's causing you to not be able to focus. That'll end your turn. We got Rawl, Ego, and Chav. Let's go ahead and go with Ego or Chav. What are you doing to lead the group out of the tunnels?
Quite literally that, leading them out. I'm going to be the first one out of here, by God, if I can help it. So, yeah, full movement, getting my ass out of here.
Okay.
If you're going to tell me to roll an athletics check, I'm going to hookshot my ass out of here.
Yeah, I mean, that's still the case. You're a good distance away. You're about... You hook-shotted yourself. That gave you 120 feet. You used the maneuver to get further. That put you at 170, so you're outside of extreme range. So you have no setback die to battle with. So it's just an average athletics to get further.
Okay, so I do still have a setback die to contend with, but I am going to spend a destiny point to activate Heroic Fortitude and ignore my off-balance critical injury for the duration of the scene.
Ooh.
So that I don't have any more of that setback die, which is funny because I still am suffering one setback die, but that is self-imposed as I am wearing training weights.
I like it. There we go. Let's go, baby.
Range light, we gotta get rid of our upgrades because that's for shooting things. Average difficulty, rolling for Chav Visto. 4 successes, 2 advantages, and a triumph.
Jesus, you guys are rolling good. Okay. Again, utilizing your hook shot, just slinging yourself through these tunnels.
Fucking
Utilizing
Spider-Man over here.
right, utilizing the hollow projected map that Rawl was able to. Rawl and Guy were able to generate between each other. You navigate these tunnels to another intersection that I would assume Chav would know that putting themselves in direct line of sight of Dove would be most beneficial if they're scaling through the larger opening. So you lead them through.
If we can find a way for things to converge, so A, parties all together, B, I'm putting a one-woman army between me and these things that are trying to kill me, then that is the move.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you would be navigating this network, seeing a fork in the path, using your quick reaction and judgment. You take the right path that leads to another antechamber ahead that you reasonably discern as one of the possible impact points from the falling platform that Oho had originally descended through.
Right.
With that, let's go ahead and get a quick athletics check from both Rawl and Ego.
Really quick, I will do Ego because I just looked at Ego's sheet and I refuse to let Ego fail this. Hey, if Ren, if you're in the chat, I'm gonna make Ego use all their fancy stuff because you haven't. I'm going to have Ego use a feature known as Works Like a Charm.
Ooh.
And they're going to make this athletics check using their presence instead of their brawn.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So Ego will be making this check with 1 proficiency die, 3 ability die, no setback die whatsoever. It is average difficulty, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then there goes Ego. Hey, yeah.
Victor, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and make the athletics roll for Rawl. And then we'll continue on with the initiative. That's a good roll. All right, look at that.
Which I'm going to take a second to say, Works Like a Charm is a badass fucking skill to have.
That definitely is. That is definitely a clutch skill. And then once Rawl's athletics is rolled, we'll move on to the pursuing Tukata.
We could not. They just can ignore everything. They can go home.
Victor, are you able to do Rawl's athletics? You got it? Okay. There it is. Okay. Easy enough with 2 difficulty. Yeah, easy enough. Rawl's a fucking tank. He's got this. Yeah, the 3 of you begin coursing out through these tunnels. Rawl and Ego keeping a close eye on Chav as he slings himself through these tunnels, acting as an advanced scout of the group. You guys can hear the gnashing of teeth and the scraping of claws against stone, and the yips and yelps of these massive hounds in pursuit. You guys continue to lead yourselves to the most optimal routes that will put you in a favorable position between death and salvation. That being said, the hounds will clear the wall, and one group of 5 enters through the pirate hole, just shortly behind Oho. The group of 10, one still within medium range, the other closes 2 range bands after getting a free range band. That is extreme to long to medium. So they catch up with the leading group. And then that will end their turn. Look at you guys. You guys are just getting all these free rounds of shots on these fucking things until they catch up to you. That'll end their turn. We are back at the top of the initiative, which will be the final check of this chase encounter. Dove, you can see these guys closing in on you quickly.
Is it just these 3? Sorry.
No, you now have
10.
8 on top of you.
8?
Because you
And
took out the 2 from the initial pack originally, and you
And the others are no longer visible?
the remaining 5 that were going for the pirate hole are no longer in your line of sight. Yes.
Someone wants to remind me how a thermal detonator goes off.
Oh fuck.
If it's just me and them, it's just going to be me at the end of the day.
A thermal detonator covers a range of short distance. Let me see.
Gravity
Covers the
Because
range
it
of.
would that range as it falls and counts down, theoretically.
I don't believe. I believe you can have 2 settings for thermal detonator, either impact or timed. Let me double check. The core rules.
Victor just put it in chat actually. On impact or after a delay of up to 3 rounds using the built-in timer.
Okay. With that, you can. What's that?
It can be impacted against a wall.
You can.
I could just
Doing so will put you in the blast radius. However,
She's in a tank.
yeah, you are in a tank. Basically,
and I would continue to ascend
yes.
while
But
falling.
if you're doing impact, you are going to be caught in the blast, because that is instantaneous.
If it's up to 3 rounds, then it can be. I can set it to impact after the round, in which it'll be after drop the detonator, fly up, and then it comes around to the Takata's turn again, and then it impacts. Sorry, then it detonates essentially.
Yeah, if you do the delayed, that would afford you time to escape the blast radius. However, you do run the risk of the Tukata getting outside of that blast radius. But you could stick it to a wall and try and collapse the tunnel behind you to try and slow them down.
I'll do that.
Okay.
That's fine. It just needs to be between me and them.
Okay. Good.
Structural
Okay.
integrity no
I just
longer
wanted to give
matters.
just wanted to give you some options to work with. Okay, so seeing that these Tukata are closing the distance on you rapidly, you come to the conclusion. Time to rain debris down on these fuckers.
I've had this detonator since the start of the game. I've never used it.
I love it. What is the timer? You're 1 round, 2 rounds.
1 round if possible.
Okay. So at the top of the next round, this detonator will go off. You go up against the wall. We can say this. You're already at the wall at this point in time. So you just slap it against the wall, activate its timed feature. You begin your ascension, getting just above port range, which will actually, I believe that's interacting with gear. Interaction with environment. Preparation. Exchange action for maneuver. Performing a skill check. Combat. Manage gear. Draw a holster or put away weapons, items, or load a weapon. Activating a thermal detonator and placing it. I argue that is a maneuver, as that is managing a piece of equipment. So you're still able to take an action to maneuver. That still puts you at short range, though. Shit. But you'll be above the falling debris, which will be most beneficial for you. So
Yeah.
it's just like, it's coming down to a hair at that point.
I can take it.
Okay.
It's fine.
If you're all right with that,
Yeah.
that's fine. Okay, cool. We're getting saucy. I like this. Okay, so you place the detonator, maneuver one range band up, putting the Tucata from medium range back to long range. So if they go 2 maneuvers, they'll be exactly at the position of the thermal detonator when it goes off. That's wild. Okay. Shit. That being said, yeah. You place it, engage your thrusters, begin your ascension. The Tucata, seeing you hasten your ascent, also hasten their climb to the position where you place the thermal detonator. And they are none the wiser. That is going to be fucking gnarly. Oh my god. Okay. Players, let's go. What we got? Oh-ho. You are the most immediate danger right now.
How close are they from me?
50 feet.
50 feet.
They had just entered into the pirate hole and began getting their footing.
So they just started coming out. Okay, I'm gonna roll my force die again. See what happens.
Ooh, okay. Does he get his focus? Oh, well, okay. You gotta roll an ability check with it.
But I don't have. There's nothing. If
What-
I want
what-
to move, I want to use my move ability
Okay.
to bring shit down.
Okay, so you're trying to move in the environment. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's
I want to use
do.
the environment, and I want to close that. I want to bring this thing on top of this hole
Yeah.
where these things
Okay.
are currently.
Give me a ranged light attack,
Ranged light attack.
targeting the Tucata.
Can I argue for a heavy?
The force move ability calls for ranged light.
Ranged light attack. What do I have that it's light range?
That's a good question.
So I don't have anything in my items that would allow me to target.
And they're
them.
short range. Let me see. Just taking into account what your range light is, which is
All right.
six,
Yeah. I'm just gonna do-
agility die.
Yeah. I got it. So targeting the Takata.
Ability die, not agility.
Was that medium, long range? What is it?
Short range, 50 feet.
Short range, 50 feet. Okay, I'm gonna build pool. Gonna get these out, and then just add this 3.
And then just downgrade. There we go. Perfect. Good shot. Okay, so you're moving. You finally are able to center yourself and shut out Eliza from your mind, from distracting you from the moment. You refocus and turn back to see the Tucata begin to emerge from the hole. Their massive claws bearing into the stone as they haul themselves up and position their footing. You reach out through the force, feeling the stone surrounding you. You compel the loose slabs of massive stone to move, and you thrust it towards the Tucata as a silhouette of 2 times your strength ability in the force, which I believe is 10. So that's a 20 points of damage on a successful hit, plus 1, so 21. So 21 points of wounds. And then we're going to get saucy with it. That's 16 points of wounds after soak. Because they had just gotten their footing and they're now being slammed with a slab of stone, they're going to conduct a coordination check to remain grounded. I'll give them a boost die because they do have their talons dug into the stone to try and keep them rooted. However, it is a hard difficulty. I'll upgrade the difficulty by 2 because of the silhouette of the stone.
It's a silhouette 2.
Yeah.
Would a silhouette 2 being brought down potentially affect the stability of that ground with a hole?
We're about to find out. Oh, no! No! Not my poor babies!
Hey, what's that thing that Tarzan says all the time? Man, I wish I rolled more despairs.
Fuck! God damn it!
Gotcha.
So, we watch as this re-emerging brother returned to his brother of Creed reach out through the force, compelling the stone surrounding him to aid him in this moment. He lifts a massive slab of rock and thrusts it forward, commanding it through the force, impacting into the Tucata that begin to clamber their way through this hole. The sheer mass of this weight of this stone slamming into the Tucata, breaking their footing, sending them tumbling back down. And as others begin to try to make their way up, the foundation that they find themselves climbing it onto begins to give way, and they all begin to fall. What is fall damage again? Let's see. They are falling 3 range bands. That's great.
Oh, so if Chav is any indication, they're going to take. They're going to take. I think it ends up being
Incapacitated and a critical injury plus 50. Holy fuck.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
You know, just for good measure, add the crits from Ojo and put plus 32. Just add 80 plus 80. Just do it. Why not?
Yeah.
That is insanity. All right. Crippled. Oh my god.
Get 'em.
I gotta do it to both fucking parties too, because they were both in that fucking hole. God damn it. Oh no.
You know what that age-old adage is? Never put all your Tucata in one hole.
That's insane.
Good old saying.
Crippled and compromised. The initial group, they are pinned under massive piles of rock, while the other compromised increases the difficulty of all skill checks. They manage to avoid getting buried in the rubble as they are the last to begin their tumble, but they end up on on top of the pile of debris and fellow Tucatas, and they are grievously injured, and yeah, that's not good for me. That's not good for me at all. Okay.
Hey, it's good because you get to still have a party to torment.
That is true. I'm going to say that's an automatic success at this point with this third round of the chase. You guys begin your ascension. You see, as you make your way up to the next level, Dove, as she had just placed a device against the wall and her thrusters ignite. And go ahead.
So DM, after these things go down, and say that since we're quote unquote not in initiative anymore, but say that the next time comes, can I roll my force die one more time?
What are we trying to do?
It's been Oho took a long time trying to get back to his brother, and this thing, Oho is a man of code and honor,
Mm-hmm.
and certain agreement that he already took something half off for still nagging him about what happened. So just to be clear, when I brought these boulders down into those Takata and the hole, did the hole open more?
A bit, yes.
Okay. Oho wants to try to see if he can actually channel the force once more to bring more shit down onto the tomb of this goddamn specter and those goddamn Takatas.
Okay. Give me another range heavy. Give me another range heavy check with, or not heavy, range lighted check with your force die, and let's see. You're able to compel the force to work with you.
Guess
You got that's one success. Fuck me. Each light point counts as a success to a check.
Yeah.
That's why I have you roll the force die. You could cash in a luck token to try and convert as many dark side points over to the light to count as additional successes. However, that will count as a conflict for you.
Do you instead want my 2 triumphs?
Ooh, that's fair too. You also have those.
Do you want to give me those triumphs?
You're trying to bring
Right.
the fucking tomb down. You bet your ass I will give you those.
We're about to wrap up, so yeah.
So I'm gonna do well. If we're gonna about to wrap up, I'm gonna take the 2 triumphs and I'm gonna cash in that last token.
And what are you doing with the token?
I'm increasing the size.
The
So
silhouette?
so it's not a silhouette 2 anymore. What I'm bringing down is at least
Silhouette 3, yeah.
silhouette 3, at least. So
that's plus times 3. Okay, great.
So what Oho basically does, like after he sees the way that happens is he brings his things down. This boulders start falling. He hits the Takatas. The Takatas start falling. Like they try to hold on to the boulders, break the hole bigger so that the Takatas do not have a footing and they start falling. And just like a lot of debris kind of comes down, he turns around. He starts walking to continue the journey. And after a few steps, he just kind of slows down again and just sort of looks over his shoulder, turns to face the area where the hole is, knowing that the tomb is right underneath where that hole is, looks up at the ceiling, thinks about Eliza. He remembers this goddamn thing down there, what they called ego and what they did to his brother. And then he just, I'm no Jedi. And he just puts both his hands up toward the ceiling. And it's just that focus as it just brings everything energy-wise that he has left, trying to tap into feeling like, how much of this can I bring down? And as he does, you just like the strain is on his face and his body, and he just brings this, like, just yanks this stuff downward.
You tear the foundation out from the next level above down and shower it into this hole, and that's not enough. You bring the foundation of the chamber before you as well, compelling the stone to give way. You rain down massive spires of stone, slabs of stone, all to come showering down into this tomb of this entity that accosted your friends, insulted your companions, and did gods know what to your brother. You shower the entire tomb with 8 advantages. You bring down not just 30 points of damage. $30 times 4 points of damage. 120. Points of damage from the stone that rains down into the chamber. As you look at the as you watch this shower of stone, dirt, and dust cascade, you feel satiated. This is a proper burial. And as the stone begins to come to us, as the dust begins to settle, moments later, an explosion up ahead, the tunnel that you find yourselves traversing. Dove, go ahead and give me a coordination check to try and avoid as much damage as you can from this explosion. Call this an average difficulty.
4 successes, 3 advantages.
Nice. Okay, we'll call it, that's an average difficulty. Perfect. You reduce the damage by half. So a thermal detonator does 20 points of damage if I remember correctly.
Hmm.
You reduce the damage down to 10. As you rocket yourself through the hole.
Would soak take anything from that?
Thermal detonators have breach property, so no. Your suit takes significant damage, but it maintains its integrity as you are then propelled by the concussive force of this detonator. You can hear the stone behind you give way as well, and the hole behind you caves in. The crew of the Core Atlas finds peace in this moment. As the dust begins to settle, light grows dark, your vision obscured.
Chev throws up.
Good. Enjoy your peace.
And that's where we'll end tonight's session. Thank you all for tuning in to tonight's episode of Star Wars Edge of the Empire, presented to you by 2B Dice Adventures. We are so thrilled to have you here. We'll see you next week on 2B Dice. Take care. Or actually, I lied. See you on Thursday. Good night.